Today, we're diving deep into a really fascinating and kind of mysterious figure in Buddhism. Some people even call them the secret Buddha. We're talking about the Pachaka Buddha.
So, let me ask you this. Did you know there's more than one type of Buddha? I mean, we all know the story of the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama. But what if I told you there's another kind? A silent, solitary, enlightened being who gets there all on their own, with no teacher whatsoever?
And this really sets up two very different paths to enlightenment. On one side, you've got the Samma Sambuddha. That's the perfectly self-awakened one. They don't just find the path, they make it their mission to teach it to the world. And then you've got the Pachega Buddha, the individually awakened one. They find enlightenment, but they keep it for themselves.
All right, let's break this down because the differences are huge. A Samma Buddha, the one we're all familiar with, they're the teachers. They set up the whole system, the religion, the rules, everything. And they only show up one at a time during what's called a Buddha era. But Pacheka Buddhas, totally different. They're enlightened just for themselves, so no new religion. And get this, they can actually appear in groups, and they often emerge when the main teachings have been completely forgotten.
And just to show you how revered these silent Buddhas are, listen to this quote from the Buddha himself. "In all the worlds, apart from me, there is no one equal to a Pachaka Buddha." Wow. I mean, the teaching Buddha is, of course, supreme, but he's saying that right after him on that next level, it's the Pachaka Buddha. That's some serious respect.
So the big question is, why don't they teach? If they figured it all out, why not share it? Well, there's this really beautiful analogy in an ancient text. Imagine someone who's lived in the forest their whole life. They come to the city and taste this incredible meal for the very first time. They know what it tastes like, they've experienced it, but if you ask them for the recipe, they'd have no idea how to explain it. That's kind of like the Pachaka Buddha's enlightenment.
Okay, so this whole can't write the recipe thing brings up an even deeper question. What makes their path so different in the first place? Well, the answer isn't really about the final destination. Enlightenment is enlightenment. It's all about the epic journey they take to get there.
And that journey is all about a core concept called barami. So what is barami? Essentially, it's a set of 10 perfections, or supreme qualities. We're talking about things like incredible generosity, unwavering patience, and profound wisdom. And these aren't just things you practice for a little while. They have to be cultivated and perfected over countless lifetimes.
And when I say countless lifetimes, the scale is just mind-blowing. Let's look at this timeline. An asankhyeya is basically an incalculable number, and a kalpa is an entire eon. So to become a great disciple and arahant, you're looking at one incalculable and 100,000 eons. For a Pacheka Buddha, you got to double that. But to become a Samma Sambuddha, the ultimate teacher, it takes at least 20 incalculable and 100,000 eons of this cultivation. It's just almost impossible for us to wrap our heads around that level of dedication.
So you see, it's not just about putting in the time. The intensity of the practice is what really matters. Barami isn't just one single thing. It's got levels. And each level demands a greater and greater degree of perfection and sacrifice.
This path of Bharani is broken down into 3 main levels. You've got the basic perfection, the higher perfection, and then the ultimate perfection. Each one is a huge step up in commitment.
All right, so level 1, the standard Bharamini. This is all about perfecting virtues by sacrificing external things. Giving away your money, your home, your possessions, whatever you have, for the good of others.
Then you get to level 2, Apabarami, the higher perfection. And this is where things get way more intense. The sacrifice isn't external anymore. We're talking about giving up parts of your own body, like donating blood or even an organ, all out of pure compassion to help someone else.
And that brings us to the very top, level 3, Paramatha Bharami. This is the ultimate sacrifice. This is being willing to give up your own life for someone else. And it's only those who can perfect this highest level who can even hope to become a Samma Sambuddha, a teacher for all.
Now, this incredible path of perfection is tied directly to the law of karma, of course. But what's so interesting here is that karma isn't just about punishment. It's also presented as a law of second chances, a law of profound opportunity.
And this is a perfect example of what I mean. Think about these two figures. You have King Ajatasattu, who actually killed his own father. And then there's Devadatta, who tried to murder the Buddha himself. I mean, these are really terrible acts. But, and this is the key part, because they both felt genuine, deep remorse for what they'd done, a prophecy was made. It said that after they paid their karmic debt, they would eventually, in the far, far future,
become Pachakabuddhas. It's an amazing idea, right? That the path isn't closed off, even if you've stumbled badly. Okay, so let's pull all this together. What's the big takeaway from all this? What's the point of this whole ancient concept of barami, of building these perfections?
Really, what it comes down to is this. The path of Barami is the ultimate blueprint for self-development. It's this idea that as you work to perfect yourself, as you become more generous, more patient, more wise, you don't just benefit yourself, you create this incredible ripple effect that helps all of society. You improve the world by first improving yourself.
So, I'll leave you with a thought to chew on. This ancient path is all about perfecting these incredible virtues, right? From simple acts of giving all the way up to the ultimate sacrifice. So, just think about it. What would the path of perfecting just one of those virtues look like in your life today? Maybe it's patience. Maybe it's honesty. What's one small step you could take on your own journey of self-development?